Good morning. Welcome, everyone. Have you ever loved someone so much that you gave them everything they wanted? Extra chocolates, extra treats, extra comfort. It feels like love, doesn't it? But what if that very love slowly begins to destroy the person or even the pet you care about the most? Real love isn't giving someone everything they ask for. Real love is giving them what they truly need. Sometimes saying no is the greatest expression of love. Today's beautiful story, A Triumph of Surgery, teaches us this powerful lesson through the life of a tiny dog named Tricky. His owner, Mrs. Pumphrey, adored him more than anything else. She believed that feeding him delicious food and fulfilling every wish was the best way to show her love. But soon, that endless pampering turned into a serious problem. Tricky became so overweight that he could barely walk. Would medicine cure him? Would surgery save his life? Or was there another treatment far more powerful than any medicine? Let's find out.
Hello everyone, my name is James Herriot, a veterinary surgeon. I had known Mrs. Pumphrey and her family for many years, and I was also the doctor who treated their beloved pet Tricky. One day, as I stopped my car on the roadside, I saw Mrs. Pumphrey walking with Tricky. The moment I looked at him, my heart sank. He had become enormously fat. He looked like a bloated sausage with 4 tiny legs.
The story begins with the narrator, Mr. Herriot, a veterinary surgeon, encountering Mrs. Pumphrey and her dog, Tricky, on the street. Herriot is immediately shocked by Tricky's condition. The dog has become morbidly obese, described as a bloated sausage with legs at the corners. He looks physically distressed, with bloodshot, rheumy eyes. Mrs. Pumphrey had hastened to explain that the dog had been listless and lacked energy. Consequently, she had assumed he was suffering from malnutrition and had been giving him little extras like malt, cod liver oil, and a bowl of Horlicks to help him sleep. When Harriet asked if she had cut down on the sweet things as he had instructed, she admitted that she had done so for a while, but had eventually relented because the dog seemed so weak and she could not bear to refuse his love for cream cakes and chocolates. Harriet reflected that the trouble was simply Tricky's greed, as the dog had never been known to refuse food at any hour. He further questioned Mrs. Pumphrey about the dog's exercise, to which she replied that while he had his little walks, the lack of ring throwing was due to her gardener, Hodgkin, being down with lumbago. Harriet then stated that he had tried to sound severe, warning her that if she did not cut the dog's food and increase his exercise, he would become really ill, and insisted that she must harden her heart and keep him on a strict diet. Mrs. Pumphrey had wrung her hands, expressing her difficulty in doing so, but set off as if determined to follow the new regime. Harriet, observing their progress, had noted the dog's extensive wardrobe of coats and expressed concern that it wouldn't be long before he heard from her again. Within a few days, the expected call came. Mrs. Pumphrey, in a state of distress, reported that Tricky would eat nothing, refused his favorite dishes, and suffered from bouts of vomiting, spending his time lying on a rug and panting. Harriet, having made plans in advance, suggested that the only way to save the dog was to hospitalize him for a fortnight for observation. Despite Mrs. Pumphrey's fear that the dog would pine and die without her, Harriet took a firm line, marched out to the car with the dog, and proceeded to drive away while the entire household staff rushed about with the dog's beds, toys, and bowls.
We'll take good care of him.
As he moved off, Mrs. Pumphrey threw an armful of the dog's coats through the window, and Harriet noted that everybody was in tears. He observed the pathetic animal gasping on the seat, patted his head, and remarked to himself that he knew the cure for him. At the surgery, the other dogs had initially ignored the motionless Tricky. Herriot placed him in a warm box, and for 2 days provided him with nothing but water. By the second day, the dog showed interest in his surroundings, and on the third, he began to whimper
right,
at the
right.
sound
Hello,
of the
everyone.
other dogs. For the first 2 days, Tricky received nothing except fresh water. Later, Tricky licked the bowls of the dogs once they had finished eating. So, he was also given a separate bowl. But he was given only normal food along with other household dogs. Further, he was treated with no special food, no ice creams, no cream cakes, no chocolates, of course, no medicines, no rich food, no special treatment. By the next day, he became curious. He slowly followed the other dogs into the garden. Soon, he became a member of the pack. During feeding time, he watched eagerly as the other dogs rushed toward their bowls. The next day, he joined the pack again. When released, Tricky was immediately engulfed by Joe the Greyhound and his friends, who inspected him before moving off. Harriet later watched the feeding time, noting the competitive, high-speed eating of the pack. And by the next day, he was jostling for his own share. From then on, his progress was rapid. He ran about all day, enjoyed being bowled over and squashed, and became an accepted member of the gang who hunted rats at night. From that moment, everything changed. He ran, he played ring catching, he played ball catching.
Ready, Tricky?
He literally
get
enjoyed the
it.
company of household dogs. He ran in the garden along with other dogs.
Good boy.
He wrestled. He chased rats. He fought happily for his share of food. Without a single medicine, without a single surgery, Tricky slowly became healthy again. Throughout this time, Mrs. Pumphrey hovered in the background, ringing frequently for bulletins. Harriet dodged questions about the care of the dog's cushions and coats, telling her only that he was convalescing rapidly. Upon hearing this, Mrs. Pumphrey began sending fresh eggs to build the dog's strength, followed by bottles of wine and brandy, all meant for Tricky. All food supplies sent by Mrs. Pumphrey to be fed to Tricky to strengthen Tricky's health. Of course, it wasn't Tricky who enjoyed them. My colleagues and I certainly did. Not a single egg given to the dog, but we ate
Yes,
them.
to his
I didn't give
remarkable
wine
recovery.
and brand.
I didn't give wine and brandy to the dog, but we enjoyed it regularly for 2 weeks. Me and my staff were eating the food meant for Tricky. It seemed not nice. We kept the dog on a strict diet, no special food at all. Gave only common food along with other household dogs. Those became unforgettable days. Fresh eggs in the morning, wine at lunch, and brandy by the fire in the evening. For a moment, I almost wished Tricky could stay with us forever. It's too rude, enjoying at the expense of a dog who belongs to a rich family. But Mrs. Pumphrey would not live peacefully without him. But after 2 weeks, he was completely transformed. He was slim, strong, energetic, healthy. I made a phone call to her to come and collect him. She came to my surgery within minutes. When Mrs. Pumphrey arrived in her luxurious black car, I went inside. Tricky was busy and playing with the household dogs in the garden. When he was finally brought, Tricky jumped straight into Mrs. Pumphrey's lap, wagging his tail and licking her face with excitement. During the ensuing excitement,
my
Harriet
precious
helped the
Tricky.
chauffeur load back the unused beds, toys, and coats. As the car moved away, Mrs. Pumphrey, with tears in her eyes,
Thank you so
tearfully
much,
thanked
Mr. Harriet, for
and
everything.
declared the recovery to be a triumph of surgery. But we know the real truth. There had been no surgery at all. The real cure was simple: a healthy diet, regular exercise, fresh air, discipline, and a natural lifestyle. Moral of the story: a love should make us stronger, not weaker. True care doesn't mean fulfilling every wish. It means doing what is best for the ones we love. Sometimes the kindest word we can say is simply no. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring English lessons and beautiful stories. See you in the next video.